Now listen, Richo, you had a great article in the Oz today about basically the West's response to the Ukrainian situation. You've come out quite strongly saying that the West has been very weak on Russia. Take us through your thoughts on that, Richo.
Well, I think, I think I referred to it as Western weakness. Putin is a strong man. He might be a bad man and an evil man, but whatever other adjectives you use, he's a strong man. And he's got to be met strongly. I think with what we're doing in the Ukraine, it's a pretty lame response. We could do so much more. These people are heroes in my view, and they are fighting what's called the good fight. And when they're doing that, we should be with them, right with them, not just half with them, a quarter with them, but 100% with them. And I think there's a lot more we can do.
Keith, what did you make of Richo's article there? Not the grammar and the spelling, he's okay on all that stuff. What did you make of his argument?
Oh, look, I think he's right, but there are consequences to those very significant decisions. We've seen, two new nations looking to join up with NATO because they know that the protection that will afford them. And I'm with Richo on this. The Ukrainian people have just been unbelievable. The level of resistance that they have provided against Russia, and admittedly with support from a number of nations in terms of equipment, it's just astounding, and more power to their arm, because this is what's causing so much instability around the world. The fact that Russia is now talking about cutting off gas into Japan, a nation which is entirely reliant pretty much on energy which is exported from other countries. We've got significant changes. I mean, there's a report today that Germany is going to take a proposal to the G7 to wind back the commitment to stop supplying funding and resources for coal-fired power stations. And we'll wait to see what happens there, but that sounds like some common sense.
Well, exactly. Well, the news out of Europe is unbelievable. I mean, Richo, apparently in Germany they don't even have enough wood now for burning wood for heating. There's a wood shortage. I mean, who'd have thought that? The forests of Germany. Richo, looking at the energy shortages in Europe, do you seriously think that the Labor Party here, the Labor government, is kind of tempting fate by saying we're going to rely more and more on renewables? We're not going to look at nuclear. Chris Bowen's absolutely crystal clear on that. He mocks the idea of nuclear energy. Do you have a little doubt, the little Richo warning bell, which is always very attuned to political danger, that there's a danger down the line that the Labor Party, the Labor government are going to find themselves in the European situation of spiralling energy prices and a very unhappy population?
No, I have a very loud alarm bell ringing on this one. Look, I know that times change, people change with it. And I think we have to start to look at nuclear energy quite seriously. Let's face it, we've got more uranium than anybody else. We've got stacks of it. We should be having our own industry here. I can't see how in the future you can say to yourself, I'm going to rely on renewables when you can get a source of power that doesn't rely on whether the wind blows or the sun shines. And so that's what I want. I want reliable power. I want to know that when it's in the winter and I'm cold, I can get a heater on. And the only way I'm going to know that and be certain of it is if we are opting for sources of power that aren't about to run out on us.